What is going on, guys? Welcome to your 43rd, I think, Objective-C tutorial. I don't know who's keeping track. But anyways, in this tutorial, we're going to be covering the scope of variables. Sounds super exciting. It's not mouthwash. Scope pretty much means who has permission to use the variables that you create. So, well, first of all, I should probably tell you this. I created a new class called Tuna. Yeah, that's all I need to tell you. So you probably don't even need to type along with me in this tutorial. Just sit back, watch, and learn. But don't learn too much. That won't be fun. So anyways, check this out. We created a new class called Tuna, and let's go ahead and make some variables like int x, and let's go ahead and make another one. Why not int y? So by default, any methods, say if we had a method in here called void, some method, any methods that we create in the same class, Tuna, have access to these x and y variables. Easy enough, we knew that already, obviously, they have access to it. And also, any class that is a subclass of Tuna also has access to these variables. Well, yeah, duh, Bucky, since they inherit the variables, they obviously have access to them. So, Objective-C made a special keyword, and that's called these variables are protected. That means that only methods in this same class and subclasses of Tuna can use these variables. So say for example our characters class right here. We can't alter the Tuna variables x and y. We can only alter the characters variables, which is C1, C2, all the variables we made in the characters class right here. And likewise, Tuna does not have access to these variables right here. You're saying, alright, so why are you telling me this? I mean, all variables are going to be treated like this. We already knew this, but you're wrong. See, Objective-C made things called directives, and these are ways that you can treat variables differently depending on how they are directed, I guess you could say. Now, by default, these are all protected, but there's also something that you can do, and it's called to make the variables private. Now, I told you guys before, not only methods in this class could access them, but also if Tuna had a subclass, then that subclass had access to these variables as well. But there's going to come times where you don't want subclasses to have access to these variables. So if you want only the methods in this Tuna class and no subclasses to have access to these variables, here's what you need to do. In your variable declaration, before you even start typing any variables, go ahead and press @private. Now any variables you type under here, int y, int g, these are going to be private variables. And what private variables mean is only methods in this class are going to have access to them. So if you're saying, alright, well what if I only want two private variables and the rest I want protected, which is pretty much the ones we've been learning before. By default, everything's protected. We just want these two special private ones. Well, anytime you want to go back to making protected variables, go ahead and put @protect. Ugh, I got the hiccup / burp right there. Go ahead and type @protected. Now any variables you type after this, int h, int not y again, int e, these are all going to be protected. So there are four directives by default: protected and private, and these are the main ones. There's also two other ones called public and package that hardly anyone ever uses except for special rare occasions. But anyways, just concentrate on private, which means only the methods in this class, and protected. These are the ones that we've been learning by default. And again, by default, you don't need to put protected at all. That's what they are usually. Just if you ever have private first, then you need to switch back to protected. So these directives are kind of like a switch. As soon as you put private, any variables that you create are going to be private until you switch back to protected. So I mean, that's pretty much it. So again, what I'm saying, these two variables right here, they can only be used by methods in this class, not subclasses. And these can be used by methods in subclasses as well, as long as methods in this class. Same thing we've been learning before. And the other directives, public and package, don't use until I tell you to, because you're probably going to use them. It's often bad program practice to use those. So um, that's actually all I have for you guys for this tutorial. Next tutorial is going to be it's going to be kind of a doozy. So I thought I'd give you guys a break. So go get a glass of milk and watch an episode of Lost. And once you're ready to come back for the next tutorial, I'll see you then. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I guess if you want the source code, I can put it on my forum. So click the link below if you want that. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.